Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Real Watcher stream for May 2nd. My name is Garrett.
And I'm Adrian.
And tonight, we've got all sorts of fun news, movie reviews, and other topics we're going to talk about as we normally do. But first, Adrian, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How are you?
Awesome. I'm doing pretty well, too. We got some fun stuff to talk about, as usual. Man, I'm riding high. So let's go ahead and jump in. But before we do, just a couple things I wanted to share. Today is technically it's the launch day for the final part of the Beautiful Animated Films trilogy, the videos that we made here on YouTube. You can check out the final one, which is on Beautiful Stop Motion Animated Films. That went live this morning. And the entire trilogy is ready to go. So go out and have fun with it. Also, for those of you who are watching, thank you so much for helping us get the second video, the 3D animated one, to over 400 views. That is the most viewed video we've ever made. Even getting over 300 was a milestone, but we hit 400.
We're actually over 450 now.
We are? Oh man. Okay, so it's gone up even more since.
Last time I checked, I think that's what I saw.
In any case, it's high. And we couldn't have done it without you. So thank you so much for watching the video. And
the first one's over 300 as well.
Man, it's gone up today. Those numbers were not the same earlier. So thank you for watching our videos. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, and this third installment is really good. Garrett did a really good job with it. I feel like this is the one that had the most movies that I hadn't seen on it. So I actually found it probably not the most interesting, but like the most insightful of things that I didn't even know were out there. So it's really interesting.
Yeah, it's what's kind of fun. A lot of these videos we try and do, a mix of like films and the ones you don't know, and try and make the ones you don't know towards the top, quote unquote, of the list, so you can get maybe a little bit more interested in checking out some movies you didn't know existed. So there is a reason for that. But let's go ahead and talk film news. This is the big one up here today, ladies and gentlemen. It happened. Super Mario Brothers movie hit $1 billion worldwide. That happened.
Yeah, I haven't seen this, and I feel like all the movies on the $1 billion list, I feel like everyone's seen. I don't know how this reached $1 billion. I imagine overseas is doing quite a bit of legwork on this.
Over 50%, yeah.
Yeah, which definitely makes sense. I mean, I'm excited for the movie. I feel like it's a stream for me. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've said this multiple times. I'm not a Mario person. I have really no interest in watching this movie. I will watch it probably when it hits Peacock, because it'll hit on there hopefully pretty soon. I just have no interest in watching it. And I hope that this is not kind of what studios understand what makes a good video game adaptation, because the movie has problems. I know that it has problems. So, but hey, it is what it is.
Speaking of things that have problems and those that don't, Pedro Pascal is in talks to join Gladiator 2. I think this is an excellent casting. I can immediately picture who exactly he will play, and I'm stoked for it. I think it's going to be a really, really good movie, especially if he's in it. Everything he pretty much touches tends to be really, really good when he's allowed to do what he wants, and I'm excited. I think it's going to be great.
Who do you picture him playing? So I'm curious on that statement.
I don't want to call him the Caesar, but the prince, the ruler.
Interesting.
My gosh, can't you picture, like, oh my goodness, you could picture the whole thing.
I mean, maybe, I don't know. I could also see him as kind of like a maybe a mentor to Paul Mescal's lead in the gladiatorial arena. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that too. I feel like I can picture him with like the crown and the whole get up. I don't know. It seems cool.
Yeah, I mean, after Last of Us and after Mandalorian, I'd love to see another villain role for him. I think that'd be kind of cool.
I think it's so fun to watch him in villain roles because he's so kind in real life and he's so believable. Like, it's not like while you're watching him, you're like, this guy's really so nice. He's so good that it makes you feel like he's a villain. It's really fun.
Well, speaking of appearing like a villain, which has nothing to do with this next story, I don't know what that segue was. Sigourney Weaver is denying that a fifth Alien film appearance is still in cards for her. She has stated that ship has sailed, unfortunately. There was a failed attempt to launch with a Neil Blomkamp fifth Alien film with Sigourney Weaver. That didn't really go anywhere, unfortunately. But I mean, it's just sad to say that she's not going to appear again.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would love to see another Alien movie. I love pretty much anything that touches the franchise for the most part. But I feel like one with Sigourney Weaver would, to me, play on that. Let's include someone for nostalgia's sake. I'm okay with the franchise moving on. I've liked the ones without her in it. I think I'm good, to be honest. I think she's good. I think it's a good move on her part to not take that up.
Yeah. And I'm fine with her being referenced, I think, or at least maybe an ongoing character in the background, like a historical figure or something like that. But yeah, I mean, as much as I would love to see her again.
Speaking of people that we love to see again, Dodgeball sequel is coming and Vince Vaughn is returning. This is something I'm super excited. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think this is going to go over well at all. I think this is going to be a really bad movie. First one doesn't hold up at all from the last that I've heard, and I can't imagine this one, especially with the way that like humor has evolved. I can't imagine this being funny.
Yeah, I don't know how this is going to be successful, but then again, I like to be proven wrong. So if it ends up being better than the first one, I'll take it.
And I did
not a high bar to cross, though.
I did like Vince Vaughn in Freaky, his most recent kind of comedy-esque movie role. So if he learned anything from that, or if the producers or if comedy writers in general have learned anything, there's something in there. They can pull a good movie out of this. I just don't see it as a high probability.
100%. Absolutely. But speaking of high probability of success, Steven Spielberg has in fact seen Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, and he says that he loves it, and has actually gone on record to say, I thought that I was the only one who knew how to make these, which is pretty big praise from Mr. Spielberg.
That is pretty big praise, and I mean, obviously he loves it. I think it's going to be a good movie regardless. I do think it adds a lot of that kind of hype train to it, which I feel is obviously amazing marketing. I definitely am going to go see it. I'm just a little nervous that it's getting a little too big for its own britches right now. Like, I don't want to get let down, and I'm trying to like keep my expectations in check, but I think it's going to be really good.
It's not too high of a bar to just be at least a little bit better than Crystal Skull. That's all we're
remember, I
for.
liked Crystal Skull.
True. It's very true.
But yeah, absolutely incredible for him. And there are also reports indicating that Margot Robbie is joining Fantastic Four as Sue Storm. This is the second kind of casting announcement that we've gotten in the last week, with Adam Driver being cast or rumored for Mr. Fantastic, and now her kind of indicating, or reports indicating. I picture her as a better Sue Storm than I do Adam Driver, Mr. Fantastic, so I'm a little more on board with this role. However, I don't want any energy from Birds of Prey. I just want a new character. I don't want any of that kind of attitude or anything. I think this could be a great chance for her to prove that there's something else going on. I'm excited to see her in Barbie, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with this casting. I think it's good. She can be good, serious as a serious actor. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I think that role does require someone who's a little more serious, a little bit more potentially motherly, and she can do that. So yeah, I'm all down for it. And I feel like her and Adam Driver is a good pairing. So
yeah, I feel like that has the potential to be some magic on screen with them together. I feel like there could be some scenes that are really, really incredible.
Yeah, which would truly be interesting. And what it also has the potential to be somewhat incredible. The script for Blade is being rewritten by the creator of True Detective just a month before filming, which the True Detective show I know is very popular, is very successful. And while it is cool to have the creator coming in and helping to some of the articles said joining as a co-writer, and some of them said rewriting. So I don't know the truth on what exactly that is. But it's a month before they start filming, so
yeah, that's the tough
worrying.
part. This has the recipe in the timeline to either make or break this entire film. We've seen rewrites like this go completely sideways with Justice League, that completely get messed up right before they start filming, and especially after the editing, like stuff like that. So I don't know. This one's kind of up in the air. Could be the best thing that's ever happened in the movie. Could be the worst thing that's ever happened in the movie. And we'll never know.
And honestly, it could be rewrites due to Ant-Man, and trying to maybe serious it up a little bit.
It's a great point.
It could be anything.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, actually.
It hasn't even started filming yet. It's not like they're doing reshoots or anything. They still have a month before they film, so it's not the biggest concern. But hey, still cause to be cautious.
Yeah. Reasons to be cautious or excited. The entire Super Mario Bros. Movie was on Twitter for 4 hours, mainly due to Twitter's kind of downfall in their moderation team and the free speech movement that's going on there. So if you didn't want to contribute to the $1 billion box office revenue, you could have checked it out twice. Actually, 3 times with the runtime of the film in that span. So it is not there anymore, but kind of a funny breakthrough, which, I mean, movies are online all the time. I bet you can watch any movie right now if I really wanted to, But
no, you could absolutely watch any movie online. I mean, it's just the fact that, Elon Musk's continued mishandling of Twitter is just showing that his content moderation team is nowhere to be found. The fact that this movie was on there for 4 hours is pathetic. It's a pathetic excuse for, a moderation team.
Yeah, I mean, the last time, this is probably outing myself, but the last time I was on YouTube, not last time, but like a few months ago, Baby Driver was on there in its entirety in 4K, like just the straight up 4K Blu-ray rip. And the number one comment was, "Yikes, this is just straight up piracy." And I watched the entire film. Like, I was like, I guess I'll watch it. And it was up for like 3 days or something like that. But it was the most like blatant, not like, oh, there's no logo on it. It was just a full-blown movie like I had paid for it.
Interesting. Yeah, there's a couple of things like that occasionally. Usually they're taken down really quick, but
yeah,
you never know. I mean, Baby Driver might be one of those ones that's available for free through YouTube as well, so maybe it just wasn't caught that way.
Yeah, like maybe the people filtering through were like, oh, Baby Driver, like, yeah, we offer that.
Maybe.
I don't know, but I watched the full thing. I took it. I was like,
we're making excuses for $1 billion company. So that's...
but there is a lot coming out this week, so let's go ahead and jump on over.
We actually have some comments. We have our good friend Nadia over at Horror and More, one of the best horror channels on YouTube, saying, "What's up, Brooks?" Apparently, we're Brooks now. Kevin is here, and he says hi too. Hello, Kevin.
I would like to be a babbling brook if possible.
Ooh, that's pretty good. Also saying that Evil Dead Rise was phenomenal.
I've heard.
I really want to go see it.
I've heard it's very good.
I've heard it's also very gruesome, so there is fun. That too. And hey, I'll take it when I can get. But anyway, Adrian, you were saying something about this weekend.
Yeah, there's kind of quite a bit coming out. Sorry, real quick on comment. A correction. I can't be a babbling brook, apparently.
No, you were being a babbling because you were babbling about the wrong segment coming.
But now I can't. It has been corrected. We are broskies. Thank you. That's great. I'm sad now. But no, a lot of movies coming out this week. We have a thing called Trailer Park. Garrett, what was your most looked forward to film?
Well, these are not movies coming out this weekend, but they are coming at some point. We got a lot of decent trailers that came out this week. Honestly, I'm going to go with favorites. I have 2 favorites and the biggest surprise. So my 2 favorites, I think Wish looks fantastic. Just from that little trailer we got, Ariana DeBose's voice sounds incredible. Alan Tudyk finally getting more of complete role in a film. And then my other one is Gran Turismo, which the trailer came out today. An ingenious way to do a video game adaptation is you tell a real life story, kind of like the Tetris movie did. That's connected to the game, and I think that it looks fantastic. Biggest surprise though, Haunting in Venice.
Yeah, it looks good.
Which that trailer gets you going until that last 15 seconds, and you're like, wait a minute. Wait a minute, and I won't spoil it for you if you haven't seen the trailer.
No. My favorite is actually surprising, more based off of a book I read. I'm just stoked to see it getting an adaptation. Is All the Light We Cannot See. I just think I really liked the book. Trailer looked okay, but I'm hyped because it's such a good book that I'm just excited to see what it has to bring and what it'll actually offer up on the silver screen. So kind of in the middle, but yeah, Gran Turismo looks super good. I'm really excited for it. When I had a PlayStation, that was obviously I didn't play Forza. That was what I played. So I'm stoked. And Hunger Games, bit of a miss on the trailer for me. I feel like it didn't nail what it wanted to. Transformers Rise of Beasts looks worse with every trailer that comes out. They should have just stuck with the first one and I probably would have seen it. And now I will not be. So, yeah.
And I actually want to call that Next Goal Wins. I think Next Goal Wins looks like it's going to be a pretty fun film.
Yeah.
I mean, Taika Waititi doing a real life story about the American Samoan football team looks pretty great.
Looks entertaining, yeah.
So, moving right along, though, into the stuff that I watched this week. Here's a little bit of time where I get to talk about the movies that I have watched in a given period of time, usually being a week, because that's how we do the show. I didn't get the chance to watch as many films this week. I was busy doing a lot of other things, so there are only 4 that I get to talk about. This first one I kind of teased a little bit last week as I was talking with Adrian about it in our little after show. But I did watch the disturbing art film from 1989, Begotten. I said there's a beauty in the film's message here, man's destruction of the earth and the cannibalizing of its resources. However, its artistic decisions can make the film hard to watch, not because of its disturbing content, but because of its visual styling. It's not a surefire recommendation, but if you truly call yourself a cinephile and someone who watches as many movies as possible, you should check it out. It's definitely something that's very different from what people usually watch. Next up, I can finally say that I've seen it. Adrian, I can finally say this. Cannibal Holocaust, the infamous 1980 Italian film, gets a 53 out of 100 for me. I said that the film's deplorable aspects are front and center, and they need to be addressed. However, the film is engaging in its brutality, and its message is important, even if it's way too heavy-handed. There are aspects ahead of their time, but the animal cruelty in this movie is reprehensible. There's no excuse for it. I'm glad to say that I've seen it, but I won't be dying, get it because it's cannibals, to see it again. It's one of those things, it's like it's a badge of honor. You're like, I've seen Cannibal Holocaust.
Totally talked about all the time. Yeah.
If you're not into watching animals die, then don't watch it. That's all I can say.
Cool. I won't be watching it.
There you go. Next up, I did watch Inception, the classic, not even classics from 2010, but a seminal Christopher Nolan film. 95 out of 100, complex enough to be mentally engaging, but action heavy enough to be visually engaging as well. Inception is a triumph of sci-fi storytelling that continues to show the boundless potential of the genre. If you haven't seen Inception for a while, it's as good as you remember it being. Next up was The Birds from 1963. While I did say it's not Hitchcock's most engaging piece, it feels more like a creature feature or a run-of-the-mill horror film compared to his best work. I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad film, just that it feels more basic compared to films like Vertigo or Rear Window. It is still fun, though. Just don't expect anything complex with it. It's just a fun, somewhat okay creature feature.
Very fair.
If you do want to check out any of these reviews or anything else I've talked about in the past, though, you can go down to my letterbox in the description. It's the best way you can get in touch with me or see what I've been watching.
Awesome. Thanks for that. Yeah, Inception is good. I rewatched it, I think earlier this year, if not late last year.
Mm-hmm.
Totally holds up. I mean, it's crazy. All the stuff you think you remember, there's so many little details to every scene that are incredible. It's so good.
Yeah, and still the hallway sequence where it's just rotating is still to this day so ingenious.
And that's kind of a little bit of proof, right? The practical tends to always outweigh CGI. Like that real hallway and him really running around is huge. It's a huge moment and it feels like it.
Yeah.
But now that you got to vent about all the stuff that you did watch, our people listening and watching probably want to go watch something this weekend. So here's all the movies coming out this weekend. Coming up first, probably the largest and most sought after film that people have been waiting for is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. That's coming out on Friday to wide release. I know I'm not a big spoiler person, so I've chosen not to do a summary of this one. If you want to find the summary of it, you can go on IMDb and go ahead and find it. IMDb data. I don't know. It's one of those. I forgot.
IMDb.
IMDb. You can go ahead and go find it there. But in terms of other movies coming out this week, we have Love Again coming out on Friday to wide release. A young woman tries to ease the pain of her fiance's death by sending romantic texts to his old cell phone number and forms a connection with the man the number has been reassigned to. This feels like a modern age day we met online kind of thing. So I'm a little stoked for it, to be honest. It feels like a good rom-com. Then we also have What's Love Got to Do With It coming out Friday to limited release. Might have to drive a bit, or it might not even be playing near you. In London, an award-winning filmmaker documents her best friend's journey into an assisted marriage in line with his family's Pakistani heritage. In the process, she challenges her own attitude towards relationships. We also have One Ranger coming out on Friday, also limited. It follows a Texas Ranger Jane as he is recruited by British intelligence to track down a dangerous terrorist and stop him from attacking London. This one seems like a mix of like Western and inner city action. It seems like a wild movie. I don't know if I'll be checking it out. It is limited, so it probably isn't playing near me. But if it is, I might check it out if I have nothing else to do. Then we have a really important movie called Slava Ukraini, which means glory to Ukraine, coming out on Friday. Documents the ravages of the war in the Ukraine through testimonies from soldiers and civilians. I think the fact that there's actual kind of documentation and testimonies from real people really adds a lot of weight to this film, aside from just the weight of the Ukraine war in and of itself. This one I will probably try to go check out in a theater where I can find it. We also have Chile 76 coming out on Friday to limited release. Carmen heads off to her beach house when the family priest asks her to take care of a young man he is sheltering in secret. Carmen steps onto unexplored territories away from the quiet life she is used to. I haven't seen a trailer for it. I have no idea what this movie's about. It seems kind of like a thriller crime-ish genre. Could be interesting. Then we have The Melt Goes On Forever, The Art and Times of David Hammons, coming out on Friday to limited release. A portrait of African-American artist David Hammons, whose elusive, rule-breaking practice offers an essential commentary on race in America. It seems really good, especially if you're into art at all. It seems like an actually really well-made documentary. Then we have Land of Gold coming out to limited release on Friday. When truck driver Kieran hears pounding from inside his shipping container and finds Elena, a young Mexican-American girl, his already tumultuous life takes a drastic turn as he seeks to reunite her with her family. This one seems really good. I'm actually a little surprised it's not like a larger release. It seems like kind of those maybe like 2012 movies we used to get. It seems really, really fun. And then in my favorite news of the week, we have Ponyo, the 2023 re-release coming out on Friday. It is a limited Fathom event, so if you have a theater that plays any Fathom events, it is the 15-year anniversary of Ponyo, the Studio Ghibli cherished film. A 5-year-old boy develops a relationship with Ponyo, a young goldfish princess who longs to become a human after falling in love with him. And if that summary didn't get you hooked, I don't know what will, but you should definitely go check this out if it's playing near you. It's a very good movie, one of my favorites by Studio Ghibli.
All right. Yeah, quite a lot of stuff coming out this week. Very interested to see Slava Ukraini, if it's in fact playing somewhere nearby. All right. Cool. We did get some comments. Mr. Zach Standridge, DB.
Thank you for the correction on IMDb. I appreciate it.
Well, I thought you were saying Dragon Ball for some reason. I don't know. Love the Coming This Weekend segment. Really hyped not only for big box office films, but also the little guys. It's true. You got to go and support the little ones as much as possible.
I totally agree. Yeah, there's so many movies that don't have the marketing budget to reach all of us. And I definitely really enjoy finding what's actually coming out and seeing what's out there. Because sometimes, especially if they're limited, like you will never even know that movie came out and went. Like it'll just go and it'll be gone.
100%. And I think that when you go to see the smaller films, you might find something that maybe you wouldn't have seen before necessarily, and becomes a new favorite. Or like if it's a documentary film, something that can completely, capture your interest for two extra hours or whatever. But enough talking about next weekend. Let's talk about last weekend and what is going on. No surprises here, but the Super Mario Brothers movie took first place yet again, bringing in $40.8 million. Its global total now $8 billion, as we talked about earlier. In second place, we had Evil Dead Rise with $12 million, holding on for a second week, which is pretty strong. Holding up against Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, coming in at third place with $6.7 million. Excuse me. Surprise here. Star Wars Episode 6 Return of the Jedi re-release getting, excuse me, I'm choking, $5.1 million this last weekend. And in fifth place, John Wick Chapter 4.
Still holding on.
Which has now just hit $400 million, I think, global, meaning it is the biggest John Wick film ever. So,
perfect.
Congratulations to the Wick films. And that is everything that came out in the last weekend. But, Adrian, what have you been watching, like, when you're not at the movie theater?
Sure. Not much. Been doing a lot of just activities all the time now, but I am watching Narcos very slowly. Incredible. I also watched Kubo and the Two Strings last night. Just kind of felt like an good animated stop motion movie. And it is very good if you have not seen it. Incredible.
And then I also say it's beautiful.
If they watched a certain video online, that came out today, that we may or may not have helped create, you
never know.
Who knows? And then I'm also playing No Man's Sky. I picked it back up. It's pretty good now. I'm not very far into it right now. I think my guy's like sheltering between two walls, trying to stay warm on like a frozen planet. But it's pretty fun, and there's definitely a lot of content, so I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, No Man's Sky is great, especially now. I mean, I liked it when it first came out, but it definitely felt like you were getting a lot of bad starting worlds at first.
Yeah.
And now you're kind of seeing people get some better ones.
Well, I started on the best world. Like, it was so nice, a little poisonous. But then, I was like, oh, this is so much better. Because last time I played, I started on a frozen planet, and it sucked. And then this time, it has you go to one other planet, and this other planet I'm now on is frozen. And I'm like, can I just go somewhere else? But I'm still kind of in that tutorial phase. So, trying to get past this planet, and then off to the stars for me.
Nice. Quick comment from Zach, though. Episode 6 getting in top 5 is hilarious, considering it's summer blockbuster season. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's hilarious. It is the 40th anniversary this month, so that is the reason why it's been replaying. And at least I was talking to my cousin today, and he said that he and his girlfriend went out and saw it just because, it was there,
and they were going to watch it anyway. Paid $2.5 million to go see it.
They're bankrupt now.
I don't know. I mean, maybe this is just me. I don't think I would go back to I feel like everyone has them either on Blu-ray or streaming. I get it.
I would say there are certain films, though, that just nothing hits quite the same as seeing it in theaters.
Episode 6?
Episode 6 is not one of them. But if it was the original film, the original Star Wars, 100%. The best experience I had was seeing I think it was the 20th anniversary of Jurassic Park in IMAX, and that was awesome.
That feels that feels like a huge.
And then anytime you can see any of the Studio Ghibli films in theaters,
it's out this weekend. Highly recommend it. Even if you're not into animation, it's a really fun movie.
So Zach says absolutely not hilarious. Yeah, it's not hilarious that they spent $2.5 million each to get it into the top 5. As far as what I've been doing, obviously I'm watching a lot of films. I'm on it when I can. Again, not too many TV shows. I was so badly burnt by Mandalorian that I've just not been able to watch any TV shows really. But just been watching a lot of YouTube when I'm not currently, watching any movies. I refound one of my favorite YouTube channels called Steve1989 MRE Info. It's a really wonderful name. About a guy who just reviews MREs and military ration kits. And
it's a great channel.
It's a great channel. Let's get this out on a tray. It's fantastic. Also, just a couple of Twitch streams here and there. Nothing too crazy. It's been really fun. I don't know if anyone out there watches the Twitch streamer Hassan Abi, but his dog arc has been hilarious to keep up with. He finally got a new puppy, a Tibetan Mastiff, and it is adorable.
Oh, did I watch? Did he like go and like donate to puppy shelters?
Yes, he did.
I watched that one video of that person.
That video is great.
It got recommended to me, and he was looking for Great Danes.
Great Danes or like big breeds.
Wow, that's crazy that just got brought up again in my life. I thought I'd never see or hear about that guy again.
He's like one of the biggest Twitch streamers. I don't know how I even like come across him before, but other than that, though, it's been pretty slow in terms of what we've been watching. So, but yeah, that's about it for this week's episode of Real Watchers. If you have any comments, questions, criticisms, concerns, go ahead, type them out in the comments section. We'll get to them here after we kind of close out the main show and get into our little after show. But we'll answer any questions, any comments, anything you got. But Adrian, if anyone wants to follow us online, if they don't do so already, where can they do so?
Yeah, Real Watchers on YouTube and on Instagram. Those are the two places to make sure to catch us. We post all the time on Instagram when we've got things that give little reminders of when we're going live. And on YouTube, obviously, Garrett's put out a trilogy of really great videos, and they're doing really well. So make sure to go check those out. And then you can catch us here every Tuesday. So make sure to subscribe if you want to keep up on movie news. Just like we got the comment here in this live stream, one of my favorite things is the up and coming movies this weekend. I really try to go and kind of make sure that it gets everything that's coming out. So if you're kind of like on the edge of movie news and you don't really keep up on that stuff, this is definitely the place to at least find that out. I always list that every single week, so you can definitely find it here.
That is absolutely correct. Thank you so much for watching and joining us. Again, get those comments, those questions in there, and we'll get to them in a moment. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to keep your eyes on the screen.
Cool.
Let's see these comments here. You want to go ahead and read that out, Adrian?
No, I really thought you were going to, though. I really thought I thought that was going to get you so bad. Yeah. Did y'all hear that Keanu Reeves isn't starring at John Wick Chapter 5? It's an actor named Hugh Janus? Not too sure on that. I'm really unfamiliar with it, with that name.
I'm all in favor of casting unknowns to large franchises.
Yeah, I mean, look at Paranormal Activity, right? I mean, it was huge. I mean, box office smash. So we'll see.
Yeah, well, I think that'll do nothing but wonders for the franchise. So, hey, keep us up to date on that, Nadia. We got Zach here. Love you, boys. We love you too. We love all our children equally. No Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Not for $70.
Yeah, it's the biggest thing for me is I just don't have the money right now to spend on a $70 game.
Even if you do, I think that's a ridiculous asking price.
Apparently, the game is really good when you stop getting through the bugs. But
again, $70 to deal with all that, like I don't know.
Yeah,
that seems rough.
It also depends on what you're playing it on. I think consoles are faring better than PC was, or something like that. I don't know. Definitely want to play it. Jedi Fallen Order is a fantastic game, and very interested to see what the sequel does. So, Nadia, damn you for pre-reading. Yep. Well, yeah. Got to do it. It's that Twitch chat content moderation practice training. You gotta be up to date.
We have 2 active streamers, Nadia, but we employ 5 comment pre-readers full time to make sure that we don't get caught reading things.
We don't want to say something really bad. Not that we don't have the biggest audience to try and report us and get us canceled, but we don't. I don't want that. I'd love to have a career, But also, I was. I don't know if you saw, but Markiplier, because we talked about his Iron Lung film coming out last week, and he posted his update video saying that they completed filming.
Yeah.
Yeah. which I don't know how long it's been. It's probably been about 2 months of filming, maybe 2 or 3 months. I don't know when he started leaving. Let me double check. Because, I mean, if it was filming for like 2 or 3 months, that's about how long like real films take to shoot. So, you know, should be, yeah, it was about 2 months ago. So, I mean, that's a pretty decent shoot time. So
I mean,
it sounds like
if you imagine that he did that right away, like I imagine they ramped up and kind of got ready for it. So yeah, a month and a half I could give him. I feel.
Yeah,
It's also a one set film, right? So nothing like once they had that built, it's not like there was too much else to do.
Yeah, especially if there's any other things they have to do, like any, you know, because there's the ocean of blood that surrounds the that submarine, so you got to be able to do that as well, not just the set. There's a lot more I think that they have to do, and I think you know, maybe that's hopefully what took up most of that time, because usually a one set movie can film pretty quickly, especially if it's the person who wrote it, directing it, and starring in it. But yeah, hopefully it's a good thing. Zach is calling the FBI to report this channel.
Oh, hold on, I'm getting a call. Hello,
sorry,
Zach.
I
yes,
gotta
it's the head of the FBI. Me.
I gotta, you know, actually, I heard a knock. I'm just kidding. I'm fine. Zach, gee, any chance you're popping bubble wrap when typing on your keyboard? No, it's just really clicky keys. I have a coworker that is really into keyboards, like builds custom ones. So I've been working with him to try and get a keyboard that's custom, but also a little bit quieter, potentially.
Got to lube the keys and get a thonk instead of a clack.
Get some thonk, thonk, thonk. I just need a typewriter. That's what I need. Like
no, you need a custom keyboard that has a thonk sound instead of blue clickies.
I don't know. I like, it's weird. I like the clicky keys. Like typing on it is so nice, because I think like as someone who writes like obviously the video scripts for like the top 10 stuff, but just in general, like it feels like you're typing on a key, like a typewriter. Like it actually kind of feels like you're making progress instead of just like not hearing anything. But then every once in a while I type on my laptop and it's just so quiet, and I'm like, I kind of want that on my computer too.
Yeah.
But gaming keyboards are expensive, and I don't work at Best Buy anymore, so I don't get a discount.
Oh, I got away from gaming keyboards. I now use the Logitech Craft promo ad.
Ooh.
Here. That's the sound of a key click.
I'm hearing bombs drop. Like that's a loud keystroke.
Oh no, I just live in Hayward.
I'm actually an executive producer on Slavy Ukraini, and yeah, we're still here.
I noticed you didn't see Beau is Afraid.
I could not find a time that worked with my schedule. I was gonna go try and see it Saturday night, I think was the night we talked, and like the next showing was at the only other showing was at like 9:30, and I think like by the time my dinner was done cooking, it was 9 o'clock. So I was like, I'm not gonna be able to make it. And then Sunday I had plans all day. Yesterday I worked, and then had wonderful plans with Kevin and Nadia, who are watching this stream right now. Yeah, probably tomorrow. I want to go back to the theater. I haven't been to the theater in a while. I need to go see that and Evil Dead Rise. I mean, I go for free because of the Regal Pass, so I could go see Super Mario Brothers if I really wanted to. But
you could contribute
to that billion. It doesn't need my contribution. Nintendo's never needed my contribution. They're fine without me. And then Guardians, obviously, this weekend. I mean, I'll probably
I'm
go on
debating
Thursday.
Trying to grab a midnight seat. I haven't checked. I'm assuming there's going to be seats just based off Marvel's kind of recent history, but debating. I don't think Cass is going to want to go. I might go with Joe. I don't know. I might just go. I'm kind of over it, to be honest. Like, they aren't the same, so we'll see what I end up doing.
You never know. All the initial reviews and reactions have been pretty good. So, I mean,
it looks great. Yeah, I just don't know if it's worth me going at midnight.
Let's see here. It's got a 79% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is, I mean, pretty good. It's also got a 67 on Metacritic, which is about normal. for Marvel films on Metacritic. So, yeah, I mean, shouldn't be any reason not to. Yeah, man, Jedi Survivor's got an 86 on Metacritic right now. Unlike Redfall, which just came out today, it has a 63.
Yeah, I watched a critical playthrough and it looks really bad. But same, Zach. I've heard only good things.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I mean, more so than I was looking forward to Ant-Man, I think.
You still haven't seen Ant-Man, right?
I've been waiting for it to come to Disney Plus, and it got delayed, and it's coming out like in 2 weeks or something. So I'll watch it when it comes out there.
Fair enough.
So, but anyhow, well, any other comments? Make sure you guys get them in before we head out for the night. Zach, no Ant-Man. Damn, are you just taking that hardline stance on Ant-Man? You're just saying no? Like, no. Or you just haven't seen it? What you mean by that? On a movie channel? Are you talking about the fact that I haven't seen it?
That's what he is talking about.
Yeah. Well, I heard not so good things, and it came out during a time when I was busy and never really had the chance to go and see it in theaters. So,
is it out of theaters now?
Pretty sure. Let me double check.
Me as well, Zach. Me as well.
Let me check the biggest theater around me and see if it's still playing.
By size or by area?
Like by number of screens. Yeah, not playing.
Rip.
Shocked that I haven't seen it. I am too. Believe me. All right. Yeah. Is Beau is Afraid still playing?
Yes. It came out last week.
I'm not seeing it on the list of films.
You must not be near good movie theaters.
It's Marketplace. Foothill Town Center. Oh, no, it is. Okay, it's just not at the Irvine Spectrum. Oh, no, it isn't. Okay, weird. Anyhow. I just was not able to see it. Alrighty. Well, thank you. By size or by area. I just realized that now, what you were saying. And answered it like, yeah. Still, number of screens. That's my answer to both of them. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching this episode of Real Watchers. We'll be back next week at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We love you so much, and we will see you then.
See ya.